If your last demo didn't go according to plan, congratulations. You were talking to actual humans. Welcome back to the Thoughtful Beard, your home for insights, ideas, and a scally cap. I'm Justin. In the last episode, we built a problem-first demo. Define the problem together, prove you can move the number, show only what's necessary, and earn the next commitment. Today, we're going to deal with reality, objections, red flags, and what to do when the demo fights back. In a perfect world, every demo would co-define the problem, prove impact quickly, show just enough product, and close on a next step. In the real world, you get, we just want to see the product, feature matrices, missing stakeholders, no agreement on the problem, and that one person who derails everything with, do you support X? So this episode is about guardrails, not perfection. We'll cover 3 buckets. Objections, how to time box and redirect without being a jerk. Red flags, how to notice the not ready, not a fit early. And rescue plays, what to do when the process wobbles. Templates referenced in this video will be linked in the description below. Let's get into it. So first, let's discuss 8 objections you will absolutely hear over your product demo career and what to say in response. Think of these as short scripts, not magic spells. Tailor them to you, but keep the structure. Objection 1. We just want to see the product. What it really means is we're worried you'll waste our time on a long discovery monologue. We just want a quick proof that this is even relevant. You can respond with something like, that's totally fair. Let's do a 90-second capability ping to clear any deal breakers and then go right back to your outcomes. And your move is to execute a single scripted use case that demonstrates the fundamental value of your product. Don't deviate and stop on time. When you're done, say, now that we've seen it can do that, let's make sure we're solving the right problem. Objection 2. We already know our problem, just demo. What it really means is we feel like we've already done discovery and don't want to rehash it, even if we're not actually aligned internally. You can respond with something like, great. That will fast track the process for sure. Can you say it to me in one sentence and then I'll mirror it back with a metric? And your move is to pull up the problem canvas and fill it out as they speak. When you're done, say, if that looks accurate to you, we'll design the demo to prove that sentence. Objection 3. Every vendor says value first, just show feature X. What it really means is we've heard a lot of fluffy value talk. We need you to de-risk one critical capability before we invest more attention. You can respond with something like, sure thing. Let's prove X in one pass. If it works, let's tie it back to your go live headline. And your move is to demo the feature, emphasizing, as you're doing it, how it respects the constraints. When you're done, say, okay, X exists. Now let's make sure we're solving a big enough problem to care. Objection 4, our process is unique. What that really means is we're afraid your product will break our non-negotiable rules or edge cases, and we don't want to rebuild our world around your tool. You can respond with something like, perfect. Let's name the non-negotiables so we don't demo something you can't use. Your move is to pull up the problem canvas and capture 2 to 3 constraints, and each scenario that you demonstrate from that point forward needs to emphasize how those constraints and guardrails are respected. Objection 5, we don't have time for discovery. What it really means is we're under time pressure and past experiences with vendors have felt like endless questioning with little payoff. You can respond with something like, I totally get it. Give me 5 minutes for a joint problem statement and I'll save you 20 minutes of irrelevant demo scenarios. Your move is to time box it literally. Say I'm setting a timer for 5 minutes. When it goes off, we're done with discovery, and then use the problem impact evidence loop and get agreement. Objection 6, just send pricing instead of committing to the next step. What it really means is we don't yet see clear differentiation or urgency, so we're trying to qualify you quickly on cost before investing more effort. You can respond with something like, we're happy to share price ranges. To make them useful, let's tie them to the size of the problem to see if this even pencils out. Your move is to walk them through the value calculation one more time. If you're losing around 200 hours a month to manual orders, that's roughly X dollars a month in time. If our range is above that, tell me and we'll disqualify ourselves. You're signaling that you're not here to force a fit. Objection 7. We need you to fill out our feature matrix or RFP. What that really means is our process is being run by procurement or a comparison spreadsheet. We don't know how else to compare vendors, so we're defaulting to a checklist. You can respond with something like, we'd be happy to fill out the matrix in full. However, on this call, I'd love to map your top 3 rows to outcomes so the matrix isn't just boxes. Your move is to either take the literal first 3 or have them pick the most important 3 on the list and rewrite them live as outcomes. Feature contract pricing gets rewritten as 0 manual overrides for contracted buyers. Feature real-time inventory gets rewritten as no more quoting out-of-stock items. Objection 8. We can't share examples. What it really means is either security and compliance won't allow it, or we don't fully trust you yet with our data, or it's messy and we're not ready to expose it. You can respond with something like, no problem at all. Walk me through a sanitized version verbally and I'll mirror it step by step. We can still measure the deltas. Your move is to use a generic SKU list, quote, or order, and still show old flow versus new flow. It's important to understand that objections aren't a detour. They're data. Understand what they're protecting, time box, and then come back to the problem. Now let's talk about red flags. Objections, as we saw, are fine, but red flags are different. They tell you this prospect isn't ready or this isn't a good fit yet. Let's break it down into pre-call, in-call, and post-call red flags. 4 common pre-call red flags are no problem owner, only procurement or IT, no business lead. Feature checklist before discovery. They email a matrix and want boxes ticked in silence. No trigger or timeline. The infamous, we're just looking. Or 4th, executives can't join ever. There's no path to a sponsor. None of these flags are fatal alone, but stack 2 or more and win probability drops. Now, 5 common in-call red flags are, you still don't have a metric after multiple prompts and approaches. 2, you're talking 75% or more of the time. Stakeholders are arguing and no one in the room can decide. They keep saying, show me more, but never tie it to a problem. And data secrecy is so extreme you can't even whiteboard a generic flow. When you start experiencing these red flags, don't push harder, name it. I'm noticing we don't yet have a single problem statement or metric we all agree on. We can keep touring the product, or we can hit pause and get those things clear. Which helps you more? And 4 common post-call red flags are no next steps on the calendar within a week, no artifacts shared, no sample orders, quotes, tickets, code, images, whatever's appropriate for your solution. Send me a copy of the presentation as the only ask, and your champion forwards you to someone with no context and disappears. At this point, your job is not to chase harder. Your job is to decide, do we rescope to something smaller and more concrete, or do we qualify out and protect everyone's time? A simple readiness scorecard is, do I have a problem owner? Is a metric selected? Are the constraints captured? Are there examples available? Is there a next step scheduled? And is there a sponsor path identified? If you've checked off 4 or more of those, keep going. If you have 3 or fewer, consider rescoping or pausing. Red flags aren't drama, they're decisions. Now, for the fun part, what to do when the process doesn't go by the book. Let's hit some common scenarios and give you a rescue line and a meeting move for each one. Scenario A, no good go live headlines. You've asked them for name, title, and your go live headline, and are met with silence, blank stares, or unhelpful fluff. Your rescue line is, no worries, let's pick from a simple menu. Speed, faster quotes or orders, accuracy, fewer errors or credits, or visibility, fewer where's my order inquiries. Which one matters the most to you this quarter? Once they pick a bucket, we'll use speed as the example, follow up with, okay, let's make that concrete. For speed, is it quotes under 2 minutes or reorders under 90 seconds? Which one would feel like a real win? You're making it multiple choice instead of an essay. Scenario B, they won't consent to a problem-first flow. They're adamant, we just want to see the product. Your rescue line is, sounds good. Let's run a 2-lane meeting, a 7-minute feature preview to clear concerns, then 15 minutes of problem first so you can see what impact actually looks like. Then you literally set a timer and say, I'm setting a 7-minute timer. We'll do a clean pass through the system, and when it goes off, we'll switch lanes. You've respected their request and protected the structure. Scenario C, you can't get agreement in the discovery loop. Sales says the problem is speed, ops says it's accuracy, finance says it's days sales outstanding. Your rescue line is, sounds like we have 2 or 3 versions of the problem. Let's create an assumption ledger, what each of us believes and what evidence we'd accept to confirm it. On a blank slide, make 4 columns: assumption, evidence needed, owner, by when. Work with each disagreeing participant to fill out each column, and then say, for today, let's pick 1 primary metric to demo around. We'll validate the rest in a follow-up call or a micropilot. You're not ignoring disagreements, you're parking them with intent. Scenario D, they insist on a deep technical dive early. Your rescue line is, I'm happy to go deep. Let's pick your top 3 risk areas, the ones that could block a yes, and we'll go deep there and keep everything else shallow. Get them to list them and write them down. For example, integration, security and compliance, pricing engines. Then you do a BBA inside each deep dive. Before, what breaks today? Bridge, how we solve it technically. After, how we'll know it's working. Scenario E, missing roles. You realize halfway through that the person who actually owns the outcome is not in the room. Your rescue line is, to avoid rework, we'll need role for 15 minutes. Rather than guessing, let's set up a quick triangle session, you, me, and them, to confirm the metric and constraints. Book it right then. Don't keep demoing to an audience who can't say yes. And scenario F, you discover it's not a fit. Maybe they need something you don't do, or they're in a stage you're not designed for. Your rescue line is, I'd rather protect your time. Based on what you've shared, I see 2 other solutions that might be a better fit. If your problem shifts, however, towards, and then insert your sweet spot, that's where we really shine. Say it calmly without drama. People remember vendors who walk away honestly. Sometimes the best close is, we're not your best option for this. So let's stitch this all together. In the first video, you co-define the problem, you prove you can move the number, you show the smallest slice of product, you earn the next commitment. From this episode, when you hit objections, you time box and redirect. When you see red flags, you rescope or qualify out. And when the process wobbles, you time box, simplify, or pause. You don't just click faster. Objections aren't a detour, they're data. Red flags aren't drama, they're decisions. Your job isn't to win every demo. Your job is to run honest, problem-first conversations that either move a good fit deal forward or gracefully reveal this isn't the moment or this isn't the customer. Both outcomes build trust. So if you found this even the least bit helpful, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and share it with someone in your life that may be stuck in the feature clickathon. I'm Justin, and this is The Thoughtful Beard, your home for insights, ideas, and a scally cap. Reminding you to define the problem together, prove you can move the number, show only what's necessary, and when the demo fights back, time box, simplify, or pause. See you in the next one.